So this is day 71. It is Sunday, August the 30th of 2020. And we are back where we got off the trail on Friday afternoon. We're going to do 10 miles today and camp close to the shelter there at the base of Mount Moosilauke. It's about 9:45 in the morning. It rained all day yesterday. It was a pretty bad storm last night. So it was a good day to take a zero. You see the clouds are still pretty dark in places. And it is super windy. I don't think that's the trail, but yeah, just a 10-mile day today. The terrain's supposed to be fairly nice, so I don't want to try to end the day going over Moosilauke, so I'll save that first thing in the morning. I'll get up early in the morning and do that. Try to get to the top by lunch, or maybe a little before. And we'll be doing 15 miles tomorrow. So this will be the third time I've been over a mountain that's over 4,000 feet and had to do 15 miles. But that's just the way the shelters are spaced. If I went to the first one, it would just be a 6-mile day, and that's too short. I don't know if we have any epic views or not today. I don't think so, but we'll see whatever there is to see. And then get started with the whites tomorrow. I think the trail goes that way. I hate it when they don't blaze stuff. The trail going two ways. And they may both go to the same spot, I don't know. There's a blaze. Yeah, they both went to the same place. Oh well. If the wind wasn't blowing, it wouldn't be bad. It's 55 degrees. So temperature wise, it's perfect for hiking. So right after I cut the camera off to start with, we had a decent little uphill stretch. It wasn't super steep. Maybe somewhere between 7 to 10% grade. It was just enough to, I was about ready to break a sweat by the time I got to the top. But then it's leveled off and been fairly flat since. So hopefully we'll get this 10 miles over at a decent time and make a good dinner at camp. have about 4 days worth of food, and then I'll be in Glencliff in 2, or access to Glencliff in 2. So I may just double up on the food intake tonight and tomorrow for that climb and descent over Moosilauke. That's going to take a pretty good bit of energy, I believe. But even with the 4 days worth of food, and I got about 1.5 quarts of water, I still think I'm under 40 pounds at the moment, so as far as pack weight goes. So that'll be good. I didn't want to carry a whole bunch of unnecessary over the first steep climb of the hike. But I'm kind of looking forward to it. I know it'll be strenuous, but I do believe the views from the top will be well worth it. So I was at the Barn Door Hostel Friday night and Saturday, all day Saturday and Saturday night, and was also Wild on the Trail stayed there. For my subscribers that's really into hiking, you may follow his channel, I don't know, but he's a pretty cool dude. I've watched a few of his videos, but people are always different when you meet them in person. So I just came out from over there. This is Cape Moonshine Road. So we've been 1.7 miles in 45 minutes. Not bad at all. We're 3.4 miles from 25C, which has a restaurant close by, but I'm gonna skip it because I just came out of town, so to speak. That's the thing, anytime you go into a hostel, by the time you pay the hostel and then go to a restaurant, like taking a zero, it was 2 nights at the hostel, and then went to the restaurant the first night, to the deli up the street the second day for lunch, the restaurant again the second night, and then Dollar General to pick up some supplies. And you burn through $100 or better anytime you're off the trail, it seems. So that's where the expense comes, where a lot of hikers end up running out of money. Because you gotta keep it in check, so to speak. Of course, in my case, I'm doing the more expensive section first. So when I do the south, the cost will drastically decrease. And I don't know about Maine, but New Hampshire seems to be cheaper on some things than New York and Vermont, Connecticut were. It looks like we've got a little pond right here. It's definitely not a pristine mountain pond. Kind of green, nasty looking. It does look like it's man-made though. So we had a decent climb up Ore Hill there to where the campsite was at. I never saw the campsite, I just saw the sign. I'm talking about entering it or whatever. I wasn't camping there, so I wasn't paying that much attention. But it was a good climb up that anyway. And then ever since then, it's been fairly level and smooth. So we should be coming up on, is it 25C road crossing here shortly. I believe that's 5.8 miles in for the day. So I'll stop there and take a break, have a snack, and then do the rest of my day after that. So today's mostly just walking through the woods. So we're almost to 25C. I heard the cars going by just a second ago. I can see it over there, I believe. There's a parking area off of it. Still have some dark clouds and the wind's been kicking all along. But it is 11:45. So that was like 5.8 miles in 2 hours. Not bad. We'll find somewhere to take a lunch break. We've been hiking a couple of miles since our lunch break. Came to this view spot. You probably can't see it too well through the trees, but there's a pond down there. And from what I gather, that mountaintop that's right there under the clouds is Mount Moosilauke. So we'll be up there tomorrow. It's supposed to be clear and sunny tomorrow, so it should be a great day. Today would not be a great day. I don't know how much of it is in the clouds, but do believe that would be it. We're a little north of the view spot. It's starting to get a little rocky. We're about to meet back up with the pond trail. It's just right over there. And I was tempted to take the pond trail down because it looked like a pretty pond, and the AT just kind of goes, skirts around it. So I thought about it, but I decided to take the AT. I don't know if we'll get any pond viewers or not. That's part of the dilemma. Like I've said before, I'm not a die-hard purist, as I don't have to touch every blaze on the AT, but and I've taken a few bad weather trails when it was necessary. But things like that, I'm almost would rather take the blue blaze just so I can get the view. It's one of those things, I was here but you never got to see it. But maybe we'll get a little view of it. Well, there's the 400-mile mark. You're either 400 miles going Sobo, or you got 400 miles left going Nobo. Or in my case, you still got like 1,700 miles left. 1,600, something like that. I calculated at the hostel, I was like 670 miles, somewhere close to there. Subtracting for Massachusetts and the 8 miles I have to go back and do in Vermont. And it's strange, it's been, well, counting zeros, like 80 days. But it seems like it was 5 years ago that I got that shuttle ride to the towpath in Harper's Ferry. I've heard that before, like where a guy went on a bike tour in South America, was gone for a year, came back, and it's like he'd had this whole lifetime of experiences, and when he came back, people at home were like, wow, you're back already? All they were doing was just going to work and the daily thing they do every day. And you don't really think about how much time flies by until one day you start thinking about how much time you don't have. I think we got one more highway, be New Hampshire 25. We started today, we crossed C, and I think we crossed 25. And then we'll be at the shelter. And it's only 2:15, so may get there real early today. But that'll be fine. Relax and go to bed early. I couldn't sleep very well last night at the hostel. The first night I slept good, went to bed, went right to sleep. But then I took a little short nap while I was uploading some videos, and it may have messed me up for later tonight. I think it was like 2 o'clock before I finally went to sleep. Went to bed around midnight, but I just couldn't go to sleep. So if I go to bed early tonight, maybe I'll be tired enough to sleep, and then I can get up at the crack of dawn and get started with Moosilauke and a 15-mile day. So that's the hill we just came down, kind of on the home stretch. I think it's like a mile or so to the shelter. I haven't checked gut hooks, but could be less. But it's been a good day. The terrain's been good. Been making good time, so I think we'll be ready for the whites. I gotta be. They're coming. I ran into a southbounder a few minutes ago. Said he got a crystal clear day on top of Mount Washington. So maybe I get that lucky too. From what I understand, clear days on Washington not very often. So the sun has decided to peek its head out a little today, and the wind is pretty much stopped. This is Glen Cliff Brook. It's like some pretty clear water. Nice to keep the feet dry. Yeah, we don't have far to go to the shelter. And then that'll be the end of the day. I've been kind of running into a group. And they're headed to the same shelter, so it's like 6 people in the group. So it might be kind of busy at the shelter tonight. And I'll be in my hammock anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But if there's no one there, I'll video the shelter. If there is, then I won't. So we're 3/4 of a mile or a little less from the shelter. It's actually on Moosilauke, I guess. So it's just close to the bottom. So we should be climbing the first little bit of Moosilauke right now, I would imagine. And then in the morning, it's like 4,000 feet, over 4 or 5 miles. So it's definitely going to be a good climb. If this is any indication as to what it's going to be like. So we just passed the sign. We'll be up here to the Jeffers Brook shelter momentarily. We just had a steep climb. It was fairly short. And then it flattened back out. And it's only 3:20. Oh man, seems like it's too early to quit. But I know there's no point in going over Moosilauke today. It'd probably be dark before I got over the thing. The next shelter's only 5 miles. But I know there'll be no views. Had an older gentleman pass by a minute ago. He'd said he thought about going up there today, but there's 40+ mile-an-hour winds, so he changed his mind. So yeah, I'll pass on 40-mile-an-hour winds and no views. Jeffers Brook Shelter, 1981. Looks like the privy's over there. Oh yeah. Dinner. I just have to pack the can out. It's 600 calories in one can, so yeah, I'll pack the can out. I didn't have to pack it in here. We'll just find a hammock spot before all the other people get here.